Here's what the spinal cord does. You can see here all the various things that it does, and if people have a spinal cord injury, these things are necessarily interrupted. Here's the neuron. The neuron is a conduction cell of the nervous system. It has dendrites that you can see on here, and they're thread-like extensions, and the axon. And that is a projection of the neuron that carries impulses away, axon away. You can see on here also the myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is what is affected in multiple sclerosis. So this is important that it's here so that the nerve impulses are able to transfer. Some of these are slides. This one in particular, this is a YouTube you can watch on your own. There's quite a few of them. Try to find others that are very good. This one has a good explanation. This one is just a still shot of the neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are just so cool. So you can see the synaptic vessels, and they get down to the bottom of the cell, and you can see that they spill into that cleft and then go back over across to the postsynaptic part of the cell. So this is presynaptic above, postsynaptic below, and these are responsible for movement. It's kind of a relay station. If a neurotransmitter is not secreted by the neuron, the stimulus cannot travel along the nerve pathways. So some of the neurotransmitters you'll be familiar with: acetylcholine, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, amino acids, and polypeptides. Quite a few years ago, if you remember, there was a problem where sarin gas was let loose in a subway, and the people were paralyzed, and sarin gas stops the neurotransmitters. The other time you're going to hear about this is during surgery. Vecuronium is one of the things that people will use. Cis-atracurion, another thing that people will use to paralyze people during surgery so they're not moving. Here is another one on synaptic transfer. Here's the cranial nerves. You need to memorize these. I have a document coming up on the next slide that will help you memorize them. There's 12 pairs. It's very important that you memorize these and find your best way to memorize them so that when you're asked questions on NCLEX or any other test that might come up, that you'll know you can just go down and count and say, okay, that's cranial nerve 8. There's 12 pairs. They're cell bodies and fibers. They exit from the cranial cavity. They're either sensory, motor, or both, and I have a mnemonic to help you with that. And the cell bodies of the olfactory nerve is located in the nasal epithelium. That's the only difference. You're going to see that some of the names have been changed, like the acoustic nerve has now often called the vestibular cochlear nerve. And if you know the parts of the ear, you can figure out that that's acoustic. Here is a table. There's a table 21.2 in DeWitt. There's table 23.4 in Saunders. Should be able to find it even though if those tables are not exact. You can search it out, but look and see. So you've got your cranial nerves and where it is, and you can also look and find out whether it's sensory, motor, or both. And what it controls is taste. So this is an important one to know. There's different, most of the words are translated from the Greek. So if you know your words, Greek and Latin, if you remember from med term like glossa is tongue from the Greek language. Abducens is Latin, from leading away to carry. Acoustic from the Greek to hear. So these are some different things that you must remember. Table 21.5 DeWitt is a quick, gross assessment of major cranial nerves. Here's just a slide of where they're located. This next slide, these have to do with the cardinal fields of gaze, 3, 4, and 6 make the eyes do tricks. And if you notice here, I, that's 3, IV is 4, and VI is 12. So look at those, look at them in the modules, make sure you know them. 3, 4, and 6 make the eyes do tricks. On my exam, I will give you the number 4 and the Roman numeral, but you may not see that on NCLEX. And that's it. So review neuroanatomy in both Saunders and DeWitt and be ready to discuss. Thank you.